Hello, I'm Jim Kennard, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about the T-frames. We spend a lot of time and effort teaching people how to grow their plants vertically, and this is the very best way to do it. The Mittleider Gardening course book, the new one especially, has tremendous helps inside the book to help you create T-frames and grow the best possible garden. Now, it doesn't really make the most sense to go to the trouble and expense of growing your plants big and tall, healthy and highly productive like this if the weather is going to turn bad and you're going to lose them all. We live in Idaho. It is known to freeze as early as September 1 in Idaho. Well, we would lose a tremendous amount of production if we didn't protect these plants, because we want to take the crop clear into November, maybe even December, depending on the weather. So let's talk about how we do that. So in order to protect your plants, we teach people how to create what we call an in-the-garden greenhouse. And this is what it amounts to. Inexpensive, fairly easy to build, quick, and it will save your plants for 1 to 2 months at least. Let's show you just how we do that. First of all, we recommend that you do 2 beds together so that you're able to actually have the greenhouse idea of being able to go inside and work from the inside. Many of you will have 18-inch wide beds or boxes, and then your in-the-garden greenhouse will be much narrower than this, typically only 8 feet wide. But I have 2 4-foot boxes here, and this is more than 13 feet wide. So it becomes a little bit more of a job to create protection for this. Still quite easy. If I can get Aroxia to bring the camera over here underneath and show you the 45-degree angle PVC elbows there. We will screw those to the inside of 2x4s that run between our T-frames, and that way we have something in which to put the 3/4-inch PVC arch. We do those 2 feet apart, the length of the bed, and also of course we have them on the actual ends. The next thing we do is we will take a 2x3. It depends on your particular circumstances. If it's a smaller one, you might be able to get by with a 2x2 or even a 1x2, and that also depends on your weather. We can have some harsh weather up here, so I want something stronger. Folks in extreme conditions might even use a 2x4 as their header for the ribs. I've got a 2x3 here. And we then attach that 2x3 to risers, and I have a 2x3 and a 1x3 together, so that gives us a lot of strength. I have made my arched PVC, in this case, 15 feet long. With a 13+ foot span, that gives me about a 2-foot arch on my greenhouse. We'll now get Aroxia up here to show you the plumber's strap that we use to connect the arched PVC to our header here. What you see is plumber's strap that is screwed down to the 2x3. I like to do that on the ground using a short piece of pipe and placing them as if they were going to be up, but then removing one screw. That way, when you get it up here in place and put the PVC pipe in the plumber's strap, all you have to do is screw back into an existing hole, and you're very quickly locked in and ready to go. What you see now is all of the PVC pipe in place on top of the arched PVC. You now have an almost completed in-the-garden greenhouse. Now, because the PVC is pushing outward, you may have some bowing of your 2x4s. If that begins to happen, simply place another 2x4 in the middle between the two T-frames, and that will hold your 2x4s in place. Once we've got the structure in place, we consider the greenhouse plastic that we want to put over it. You'll want to measure long enough so that it goes to the ground on both sides and to the ground on the end. Now, what kind of plastic should you use? Definitely at least 6 mil greenhouse plastic. That's clear plastic. If you're in an environment like we are, consider the nylon reinforced plastic that you get from Northern Greenhouse Company in North Dakota. Bob Davis and his wife do a great job. They will custom make it and ship it to you. A little more expensive, but it will hold up under the most severe conditions and last for many years. So, you don't want to put the greenhouse plastic on here until you need to. Remember, the first law of plant growth is light, and you want to maintain that direct sunlight as long as possible. But when frost is threatened, you want to get that plastic up there, and we put it down on the sides, 1x2 sandwiching the plastic at the base and at the ends. Then during the day, we roll the plastic up, attach it to ropes, and it gives you the best of both worlds. It gives you the light and the protection against the cold, and of course the airflow by having them rolled up. When the nighttime temperatures are projected to be below about 30, you want to get yourself a heater and place it inside and turn it on. All you need now is a little space heater, 750 to 1500 watts. And that will keep the plants from freezing, and you probably will turn it off during the daytime, maybe even remove it and lift up the plastic. That will give you a month to 2 months extra harvest in the fall, and now that you've got it in place, you can use it this way in the spring to get started between 1 and 2 months earlier as well. Best of luck in your harvest. 2 things to understand and remember as you're building this. Make sure that the plumber's strap on the top is covered by duct tape so that it does not tear your plastic. Also, make sure that the corners, any sharp corners, are buffed down and covered by a little piece of carpet or rubber or something. You do not want friction points that can ruin your plastic on those edges. The last thing to consider is that you do not want this in place when the weather is warm. You're wasting sunlight if you've got it covered with anything. You only want to install it when frost is threatened. And then you'll keep it rolled up as much as you can to get the maximum light and circulation. Thank you.